Man, I love a good crossfade. I mean, good morning, everybody. What's up, Shane, Jeff, first ins, Ben Toombs, how you doing? Brandon Jester, hey, got a question about wrought iron if you got a second. Funny thing is, I'm working on wrought iron tonight. So absolutely, Brandon, ask away. What's up, Eric? Yeah, I'm actually going to be working on the wrought iron tentacles from last week. I had drawn some of them out and saved the tapering for today. I can't see in these. I need new ones. So I've got to taper the ends of these, and then I figure I'll start, rounding them out. But yeah, platypus. If your last one, your project snapped in half, maybe you were striking it too cold. Keep it hot. Boom. What's the different kinds of wrought iron or is there much? There actually is. What's up, John? And it's not so much different types of wrought. It's and as far as I know, there's no real grading system for different types of wrought iron. Like you have wrought iron, then you have like refined wrought iron, and then you got like shear steel and blister steel and stuff like that. And all it is the amount of times that it's been worked over, wrought. If you spend a lot more time on it, it becomes more refined and tighter grained and stronger, essentially. For the stuff that I do, I kind of prefer, not very well refined. I prefer something that will etch and look like it's almost about to fall apart. You know what I mean? But as for, how to tell from a piece of steel, looking at it, I don't think you really can unless it's pitted and rusted enough that you can, see the grain. But the best way to tell wrought is to take a chunk of it, cut it about 3/4 of the way through, put it in a vise, and then hammer off the cut end, the little bit, and then look at the grain structure and how much it's torn. If it's real tight, it's a little bit more refined. If it's if it splinters off and it looks like string cheese, then you have not quite as refined. But as for different types, I mean, wrought iron is wrought iron. It's just, and you can take unrefined wrought iron and work it, and until you get until it refines itself up. Yeah. High grade and low grade wrought iron. It's wrought iron. It's iron that has been wrought. Hope that answered your question there, Brandon. I was looking to do a Go My Axe with wrought and 1095. That'd be a good pairing. For axes, like a folding style. Where is mine? It's way over there somewhere. Usually you'll see like a strap of wrought iron wrapped over and then gripping a piece of tool steel in the face, for the face, and then you weld that together and there's a wrought iron body with a tool steel face, But yeah, I had a chunk of wrought iron in the fire today. And the thing about wrought iron is you need to get it hot to work it. So I've got these tips that I need to hammer down and draw out. I don't have that camera on, y'all can't see it. So in the meantime, make sure that Yeah, Brendan, that's a common way of doing that. And what I do for that nice teardrop shape is I'll get a piece of like 1 inch bar stock and fold it over that and then forge weld it, but not like squeeze it up so that it's a 1 inch round hole. I'll forge weld up to, you know, just before it slopes up, and then you have that kind of a teardrop, but a wide teardrop, and then you just hammer the cheeks in a little bit, and it, you know, you work it that way. I struggled with it at first, but you know, like I did one, and it's like, oh, durr. What's up, Phil Works? So I'm going to switch cameras and get to work now. Crossfade. Turn the fire up. I want this screaming yellow because I'm going to be doing some major shape changing. All of these have a real, you know, nubby tip. Hi, Ben. Getting it right there about the size of the parent stock, which is the end of a taper. And you know, working with wrought, you have to keep it, I say it all the time, but you got to keep it hot, 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 hot. I'm about bumping into my phone. Let's see. Oof. I mean, lift more than 5. My hammer's 2 pounds. Get out there. No, I'm just playing. Now I'm working the very tip now, so I want to make sure that it is as hot as I can get it without it melting and throwing off all sorts of sparks like crazy. Working this under the power hammer last time, I started to see a little bit of the lines forming. Yep, do not want that to split. I will say though, if it does, I won't, my feelings won't be hurt. I'll just take a cut-off saw or cut-off wheel and cut it off at an angle and, go with that. If you think about this octopus, like, unless you stretch it out and measure each arm, you're not going to be able to tell how long each arm is. I just want them as close as close as possible. Exactly. Yeah, exactly, Roy. I absolutely can just forge weld it back together. I should know that. I've talked about wrought iron enough. Oh, and howdy, Roy. I should have known it was you. Alrighty. I'm going to start rounding this one out. What I'm going to do is start at the tip, work it in as far as I can, and then cool the end off, flip it around, and work the backside. Silica sand. I think I actually have a bucket of that somewhere. And again, I will remind everybody, I am going to be etching the ever-loving snot out of this in acid somehow. Haven't figured that out yet. But, so the super, super fine detail, you know, getting it perfectly round, doing the suckers, etc., aren't exactly necessary. The real beast is going to be after I get it all welded together. Forge welding this giant head that it's going to have, giant body. And then the rest is pretty much torch work, you know, torching it all, you know, to bend the arms into shape. For aiding in the hiding. I'll remember that when I forge weld the body. Iron filings in the, I'm not so much doing scarves. The style octopus, or the technique for the octopus that I'm doing, is very similar to the Kirk Sullins style. You know, the 8 bars forge welded together for the body. What's up, Alex? Good evening, everybody. So, I may have a couple of cheats here and there, but in general, that's what I'm doing. I'll have 8 legs and then, or 8 arms, and then I'll have to forge a beak. Although, I don't know how detailed I'm going to get with the beak, because it's going to be underneath it, and it's going to be sitting down, and it's not like it's a piece that people are going to be able to pick up and like look at underneath. I might even put it on a base. I don't know. Let's check up on the chat, see what everybody's talking about. Hey, Paul. I'm just making fun of Ben. Carry on. Pro tip number 3, when I work with master locksmith, on Latine, we would on occasion forge, braze wrought iron elements together when they were too small to forge weld together. I might have to pick your brain about when I get to do the webbing, Roy. My plan was to... Actually, I just thought of how I'm going to do it. Where I don't need to use electrical welding. That's the idea, is I do all of this with no electricity. You know, well, like no, you know, you use, not without using like an electrical welder or nothing. But I've got a little bit. I might need to search for some more wrought iron wagon wheel tire, and I was going to cut some triangular shapes out of that and do that for the webbing between the arms around the body. And I'm thinking taking the oxyacetylene welder, fitting them in there, and then using that to literally weld them, you know, without, worst case scenario, I can take a piece of wrought iron or something and, you know, draw it out to a really thin bar and use that as filler if I need to. Yeah. It's a great way of stabilizing wrought iron cracks in small cross sections. You're fine, Roy. You're absolutely fine. It's just when I get this done, I'd like to have as few. I'd like, when I etch it, I'd like it all to be wood grain, or at least, you know, wrought iron in appearance. And then I aim to take a wire wheel to it and make it all shiny and then spray it down. I don't know how well that's gonna work, so we'll see. You know, worst case scenario, once I get it done and etched and everything, spray it with a hose, you know, or like cover it in baking soda, spray it with a hose, get it cleaned off, and then it'll have the, you know, that black gook all over it. And I'll just take, like, you know, sandpaper or steel wool or something, and then just clean up each arm so that the pits have black, but the outside is you know, it's kind of got that silvery, you know, silver and black shine. There you go. Everybody loves wrought iron. Hello, Metal Man. too terrible. A little bit more in this section to round before moving on to the next one. I'm going to try and not cross over sections. Ah, Metalman joining the ranks. What's up? Did I get any of the wrought leaf springs you have? No, I don't believe I did. Hey, small scouts. It would be really easy if I had some wrought iron plate where I could just cut out a section of what I need. It's awesome. Everybody giving you a round of applause. Thank you, Kenneth. All right. So just got this little bit left. Dooby-dooby-doo. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. As the bar gets thicker, it'll take a little bit longer to heat up, so bear with me. Rawr. Get it there? Rawr. I'm special. I've supported Yamez for 10 months. Right on, Roy. The way we made the small scroll work inside the hoops of keys and also filled any gaps for the collars and tubes for the barrels of keys. Nice. Wait a minute. Oh, that was a gift thing from Steven? Thank you, Stevens. I'll tell you this, too. Steven actually followed me on Twitch when I was playing around in, gaming streams. So, Steven's awesome. Hey, Jeff. Mr. Donut. almost lost that steel, or that segment. Back up to hot so that I can round it out, or finish rounding it out. I'm dependent number 8. Oh, fiddlesticks. Attacks wrought off. That's funny. Like a Swiss bank account. I take all deposits. Ha! Shut up. Looking nice. Going a lot smoother than it did with the power hammer when I tried rounding in the power hammer and split it all to hell. So at least there's that. Rob's in the house. Only 11 likes, 17 viewers. Come on, guys. Making me feel like I'm unwanted. My grandson is amazed that my friend Yamez is on a movie on YouTube. I'm also on Cops. Yeah, I like the feel of that. A little bit of a burn spot popped off, but oh well. Call it a battle scar. Great-grandson Lorenzo was born a few days ago. There you go. It is a very quiet anvil. I love it. Uh-oh. Roy's feeling frisky. Okay, here's my $5 today. I'll expect my $25 next week. All right, I'll put it in CMOS. Thank you very much, Roy. It is much, 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 much appreciated. I smell something roasting. Let me see, what's cooking? Hey, good looking. It ain't me. I'm sure I'll find it. I like that swage block. Plug it. Who made that? What? I like that swage block. Plug it. Oh, plug it. Oh, shill it. Yeah, that's a Holland anvil. Medium, because I know they do a really, really tiny one. And I actually won that from Roy when he did one of his famous year of the ... I think today he's up at the year of the Forge press, and he's giving away 12 Forge presses this year, or not today, this year. You know, like 12 50,000 pound PSI Forge presses. Free shipping worldwide. All right, Jeff. I recommend it, you know, Donut. Like, if you want to buy a new one, it's a good one. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. It's year of the Treadle Hammer. Just make sure everyone knows how the Super Chat button works. It works like this. Thank you very much for another $5, Roy. Yeah, man, Kenneth. Roy's streams are always a blast. Yes. It does work great. Was Roy going to be the only one throwing Super Chats around? Roy and Steven. I got to give Steven credit. I believe it was Steven who gifted a month of local to Kenneth. I can't really tell offhand. I think there's viewer activity. Not certain how that works. But yeah. I hear you guys. And I appreciate the heck out of it, Roy. Kind of spark up a buy wall. Get some green on that chart. Woohoo! I see you 5 and raise you 5. Oh God, we got a bidding war for Yamez's affections? What is going on? Thank you, Alex. Alright, it is almost to the point where I need to turn that around. Let me cool this off. Uh-oh. Another one. A $10 super chat from Metalman Productions. Thank you, Kenneth. Thanks for the stream, Yamez. Of course. I'm here every week. Well, I say every week, but I keep missing some weeks for various freaking stupid reasons. Amazing, amazing, everybody. Let this all heat up. And hold on. Hearing a strange noise. I don't know what it is. Sounds animalish. All right. The chupacabras. It is, it's like a clicking noise. Hey, Chaz. Just letting the wrought iron that, you know, like I said, as it gets towards the end, that chunk will take a little bit longer to heat up. Maybe I should have stuck to just doing tips. But I want y'all to see the process of all of these. I probably won't do another, you know, stream of drawing these out, you know, because it's literally the same show over and over and over and over. I just have to make time to get out here midweek and crank them out off stream, off camera, and then hopefully the next one I do for the octopus will be putting the head together. I got to heat up over here a little bit better to smooth that transition over. But there's one sound that no one knows. What does the fox say? Magic. It'll get done by magic. Or I'll scramble at John's house the week of. off the end of it a little bit. Let that settle a bit. Shut up, John. Brunel. And you still my beating heart is going to use a swedge block that's been sitting there the whole time. I actually, kind of prefer, like, the swedge block is great for that, but, like, I'm used to rounding on a flat surface or rounding on the crook of the anvil, You guys are mean. I had to do an impromptu coal cleanup. Because unlike some of y'all fancy people, I don't use Coke. Yeah, John, I hear you. really ought to make a rounding a rounding swage for the power hammer, you know, and just be done with it real quick. But yeah, one thought that I had, because I had all these squared up, was to just twist them, you know, put twists in them, and then etch that, but that would create a lot of splintery pieces. Like I've twisted and etched wrought iron, and it looks cool, but it splinters off very easy on the corners after you etch it in acid. Yeah, John. Grip is getting nice and toasty. I just realized I never changed the camera. Ben and the goat. Oh, I remember that love affair. That was a better love story than Twilight. You were making that other goat real jealous. You had to decide bestiality or a relationship with a goat. I'm kidding. Don't flag me. Nah. Yes, Ben, remember, nah means no. Bringing up bacon already. But the important question, we know what a goat says, but what does the fox say? Almost there. After I get this, I got literally about an inch left to do for this one. Ben, are you hearing voices? Oh, that sucks, Daniel. Mr. Maker. right. And another one done, and another one done. The tentacle bites the dust. All right. I think if I at the very least draw this one out, before the end of the show. Hey, Mr. Lonis. Of course Ben wants butts, Drew. It's all he sees when he, walks around in public. All right, Ben. Let me go walk over there by the anvil. Get Ben's blood pumping. It really did. Oh. Hey, Bill Corey. I need to make myself a tool stand or a stock holder or whatever. I can't English today. Ah. See what the chat's up to. Hey, Trail Dust. Now, John, I'm just going to draw this tip out and get it ready for rounding is what I'm going to do. I don't have another hour and a half to do. All right. So yeah, a lot of pain in the butt, a lot of tedium on this. Now, I will admit that there are two reasons why I'm not doing the tentacles or doing the suckers. One is the detail would get lost with the etch, like I keep saying. The other is I'm not, I really don't want to go through the hundreds of hours it would take to do it and have it show through the acid. The only thing that I can think of to do would be to use a technique that I am not very good at of doing the drop bead welding so that the suckers are a little bit different and they're more pronounced, and then they won't etch right. However, I worry that doing that and then going through all the effort of, doing it, screwing up, scrapping it off and then redoing the whole thing and doing that for 8 3-foot arms, and then I etch it and it undercuts it and they just fall off anyway. So I'm opting for the artistic inclination of not doing it. Yeah, donut. I know it would be worth in the long run to go through the hundreds and hundreds of hours of effort to do that. However, I don't actually have that time to do that. I am busy at work, so I have to kind of take that into consideration as well. How much time I will actually have out here in the shop mid-weeks leading up to Quad State. It would take me just to do that, because the one thought would be weld the thing together, get it into shape, then go through and pick which side would be the underside and then weld it all on, But I don't know, No. Your comment time is. It's you're 100% correct. If I had the time, I would learn that skill, because again, remember, that's something that I've tried a couple times and I just happen to not be very good at, to the point where just to do the one bottle opener that I did a rail spike tentacle bottle opener with raised suckers, and without going by and then punching in a center punch on each sucker to make it look like a sucker, just to do little blobs on it, took me about, a piece that big took me about like 5 hours, standing over it with the oxyacetylene and a hanger and going and heating it up, and then bloop, and then bloop, and then bloop, and then up, I screwed up, and all right, chip that one off, up, this one chipped off because I didn't do it right, all right, restart, bloop. It just took forever, Yeah, I did do a video on that, I think, Kenneth, and I edited the crud out of it. No, I think the video one that I did, I actually used a center punch and punched in I punched it in instead of blooping it out using a oxyacetylene. No, I don't have a MIG welder. No, I don't have a MIG welder. And that's the thing. Like, the Vulcan welders out there, the good welders, that it's literally just set the setting and you go bloop and you're done. It penetrates it, it creates a perfect little ball on it, and boom, you're done. Like, I think it's even an accidental thing of when you're trying to run a bead, you go, oops, dang, and then boop, you got a perfect little piece right there. What's up, Henry St. Street Forge? But so it's like one of those like judgment calls based on time, what I have in the shop to do, and to do it with, and I've chosen a style that in what it's going to look like, hopefully, that it shouldn't matter about not having suckers. But so The main components of this is the octopus and a ship of some kind for it to be grabbing onto. How far I go, like if I want to spend detail time, I'd prefer it to be on the ship. You know, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do just yet. But the ship is going to determine the scale of the octopus. Like if I were to just do an octopus, it would be like a life-sized octopus. You know, if I add a ship, if I do a really big ship, you know, to get a lot of detail, it's a little bit of a smaller octopus, still being giant. But if I do like a ship about this big, then that, and then but make it look like it's a 60-foot ship or a 100-foot ship, you know, a large ship, but just done really small. I don't have to focus on this uber details, but I still get that effect of this is a big octopus, you know. So the details that I want to orient myself towards are making it look dynamically eye-catching, you know. And that's the other thing. It's such a minute detail. I think people will check for them, but once they see that it's like wood grain, they won't. They're like, okay, yeah. It'll. The suckers would just, I think, make it look too busy. But I'm gonna go ahead and start the. Why can't I think straight? Good night, fire. And we'll call it a night. You know? So, I appreciate all of you guys watching. I appreciate the hell out of the super chats. And thank you for the new memberships. And you guys are freaking awesome. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I myself have a lot of work this week. I worry that yeah. But it is what it is. Here we go. Good night, fire. Good night, coal. Good night, embers. Good night, glow. Good night, hammer. Good night, tongs in the rack. Good night, steel. From yellow to black. Anvil is quiet. Still as the tweer. Good night, blacksmiths. Everywhere. You guys have a wonderful day. Try to blow out the candle. Claymate my good night fire for me. Eric got it. Got a clip so far. Takes time. Sure. If you want to do a claymation good night fire clip to the pacing, absolutely. We'll put it up on both our channels. You guys have a wonderful night. Thank you.